Good afternoon, Farmington High School. This is Coach Hoopert speaking, or Mr. Hoopert, or whatever you guys are calling me nowadays. It's Unit 2 Notes 5, solving systems using any method. Hey, so this is where you guys get to choose, and I'll show you my train of thought, kind of what I'm thinking. How do I decide which one to use? I picked the easiest one. I'm lazy. All right. Here's some tricks though. It's already solved for a variable in slope-intercept form. Easy to solve for a variable. Kind of the same thing there. In standard forms, a really good hit for elimination. Opposite signs in standard form, or same number on same variable. And I'll show you what I mean by those. So number one here, all right, they're both in standard form. They also have opposites variables here. This is going to go to 0 every single time. So I know this one's elimination. I'll just write elimination. This is an example of it. 3x and 5x. 3x and 2x is 5x. And then 7 and 13 is 20. Divide by 5. Okay, x equals 4. Okay, that's all you got to do, to be completely honest with you. And then x equals 4. I got to find y yet. I'll just do 2x. I actually usually pick the one with smaller numbers. I already screwed up. Alright, I'll just write it all out. Usually I won't. Now here's where I substitute that value in. 2 times 4. You guys better be getting good at this. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 5y equals 13. Subtract 8. Subtract 8 on the right then. My equals comes down. 13 minus 8 is 5. My 5y just comes down. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Y equals 1. So here you go. 4, comma 1. That's the point of intersection. Remember, that's what you're still looking for technically. So it's easy to write. Notice I made my little dashes through here. 1y equals 1 or y equals 1. Okay, number 2. That top one's standard form. The second one's y-intercept. But I'm looking at this. This y right here. So I'm looking at substitution. So I got 5x plus 3, and I'm not going to write y. What am I substituting y in? So this whole thing substituted in. 2x minus 10 equals 3. And this is beautiful because y is an ugly variable. I don't want to deal with it. So I got 5x plus 6x minus 30 equals 3. I got to add this 30 here. That goes to 0. This is combining like terms. Notice both of them are on one side of the equals together. So that's just 11x equals 33. Divide by 11. Divide by 11. X equals 3. Best number in the world. Now, here's the deal. The easiest one to substitute it in for is still this bottom one, because I already have what y equals. Well, y equals 2x minus 10. So 2, my x value is 3 now. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 minus 10. Or in other words, y equals 6 minus 10. So y equals negative 4. Then my point up here was 3 comma negative 4. Also, I use substitution there. If you're keeping track, if you're going over your notes later and you want to study for a test, here's examples of elimination, substitution, and why we chose them. Over here, the second one's in standard form. The top one is standard form-ish, but the y and x are out of place. Here's what I noticed though. I'm looking at this as a negative y and this is a positive y. So what I want to do is I'm just going to rewrite this one underneath it. I'm going to write 3x plus y equals 24. And reordering the addition there, because they're both positive values, is kind of like it's property of addition. 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 6 plus 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 4 plus 2 equals 6. So you can write it in any order. Here's that. I'm sorry that took longer to explain than I wanted it to. I can see when I add these two rows that those go to 0. So now I have 8x equal to 32. Okay, so that one you might not see. Just looking at y only had a 1 coefficient and negative y had a negative 1 coefficient was how I got to those. So this is going to be x equals 4. This is also an example of elimination again. Sorry, I should write that sooner. Now for this, I'm actually probably going to take the top one, because that top one originally said y plus 3x equals 24. Well, y plus 3, this is a 4 now, so 3 times 4 is 12, so plus 12 equals 24, and then I'm just subtracting 12 to get y by itself, y equals 12. So then I got 4 comma 12, in case anybody was curious. Okay, that's how I identified that one, because both of them were negative, or one was positive, one was negative, but both of them had a 1 coefficient. In number 4, maybe 4 is one that you want to pause and do yourself, or maybe 5 or 6. 4 is the hard one because there's nothing easy about it. Okay, what I would look at, I'm going to change colors, is that this right here. One thing is positive, one's negative, and they're both in standard form already, so I'm actually just going to multiply both of them. This top is going to be multiplied by 5, and then this one I'll multiply by 3. Getting fancy with my color choices here. So if I go back to blue here, I'm going to distribute this. So 5 times 5x is 25x plus 15y equals 80. Then if I take this purple one and distribute, this is going to be 9x minus 15y is equal to negative 20. Not negative 20. I'm about to do this problem wrong. I multiply by 3 here, right? Here's what I'm looking for. These cancel out right away now, because one's positive and one's negative. That's why I chose to do that one. Then I get some beautiful numbers here. So this is going to be 34x is equal to 68. Divide by 34. Divide by 34. If you don't have a calculator out yet, you need it on the next page, and I brought mine with today, unlike last video, so you should be good to go. Okay, now I'm going to use one of the original ones. I'll take this top one, I think. So I'm going to do 5 times, and I keep doing this differently, but x equals 2, so I'm not going to write it. I'm just going to write 5 times 2 plus 3y equals 16. So I'm substituting in that top one. I have 10 plus 3y equals 16. Subtract 10. Subtract 10. Underscore. I'm going to have 3y equals 16 minus 10 is 6. All right. Should be able to see that this is going to be 3y equals 2. So my point here was 2 comma 2. This one was elimination again. That's probably a really good problem for you to review. If you got 2 colors, I probably would have used them there. 7. Okay, 7 is glaring to me. Glaring, I see this y equals, I see mx plus b for it. This is substitution. I'm already ready to go. Okay, so I would do 3x minus 2. Well, what is y? Because I'm substituting that y out. I'm getting rid of them because I only want x's in there so I can get something done today and I can solve. Equals negative 7. So 3x minus 8x minus 22. I really tried to emphasize what I was doing there because I made the mistake on my note sheet solving this. So that's a plus 22 there. This is combining like terms. 3 minus 8 is negative 5x equal to negative 7 plus 22 is 15. I don't see many of you guys writing these lines anymore where you're adding and subtracting and things like that. If you're making mistakes and you're not doing that, that's something I would start doing again. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. X equals negative 3. Being able to read what you're writing and seeing mistakes is half the battle. Now I love that I solved for x first, because if I look at this, y equals this top equation. Sorry, I just scribbled all over it. So this top equation here, y equals 4. My x has now become negative 3 plus 11. Well, y equals negative 12 plus 11. Y equals negative 1. So my point here is -3, -1. And you're all happy because you get to move on to the next one. Number 6. All right, number 6 is going to be a standard form. It's written in standard form, so I'm going to want to use elimination. And to use elimination, we need to know that the only positive and negative things are in the middle here. So I'm going to do just like I did in number 4. I'm going to look at this right here. So that top equation, let's go to 12. So this one, I'm thinking 12. This one, I'm thinking 3. Okay, so here I distribute. I get 16x plus 12y equals 4 times 19 is 76. That second one, 3 times 3 is 9x minus 12y equals 24. Okay, if you can see all that, you're doing a great job. This is what I was looking for again. That middle cancels out. 16 plus 9 is 25x equals, that's actually 100. So divide by 25, that goes to 0. 100 divided into 25 is 4/4. Like my math there. And now I would just pick one of the easier ones to deal with, and that would be probably, I think that top equation, because everything's positive up there. So I'm using this top one. That originally started out with 4x plus 3y equals 19. 4 times 4 plus 3y equals 19. I'm getting lazy. 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm going to write 16 here. You guys can just rewrite it, whatever you want to do. Minus 16. Minus 16. 3y equals 3. Sweet. Everything's positive still. Divide by 3. 1y equals 1 or y equals 1. So this was the elimination again, 4, 1. Really, you're going to have more elimination problems than not. But if you look up here at 5, if they have anything like this equation, that's when I immediately think substitution. When they have a y equals x or a y equals 2x plus 6, that's when you immediately think that. So I got a couple word problems here, and then we're done for the day. Let's skip to the end. What is the cost of each one bag? I don't know how to read that. Cost each of one bag of windflower bulbs. So X, I'm going to have equal bag of windflower bulbs, and Y equals bag of daffodil. It's probably the biggest word I'll say all year. Nah, that's not big. Just a goofy looking word. Okay, so Deshaun and Shana, I don't care. Customers can buy, but blah, 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 blah. Here's the important part. Deshaun sold 10 bags, so 10x, it says windflower, and 12 bags of daffodil. So plus 12, why I made that, for a total of 380 bucks. Shayna, we'll go Shayna, sold 6 bags, 6 bags, 8 bags, so plus 8y equals 244. What is the cost of each one of the bags? So I have two systems there. That is about as easy as it gets. By easy, I mean in standard form. You can't reduce really any of them. So what I would do is I just have to make one of them negative and one of them positive. All right, I know that one of them's got to be positive right now because I don't see anything negative. So for the top row, I'm just going to do x. Okay, I'm going to go 3 because I can see that 3 times 10 is going to be 30x plus 36y is equal to 380. Okay, now I have this row. Well, what times 6 is 30? I knew it was -5, that's why I ended up picking 30. If you would have did if your coefficient would have been 60x, that's fine. But negative 5 times 6 is negative 30x. Minus negative 5 times 8 is 40y. And negative 5 times 240. Oh, I panicked for a second. Next word problem's way easier. So, first off, I screwed up here. We're not writing 380 again. Okay. This one is 1,220. And I forgot to multiply 380 by 3. So if you caught that mistake before I did, that's perfect. That's what I want you. That's how attentive I want you when I do notes. Bam, I'll set this down. You should see this goes to 0. Now I just got to deal with the middle. This is actually just negative 4y equals negative 80. And you divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, and you have y equal to 20. All those big numbers, and if you didn't use a calculator, if you didn't pause and do this problem, you're not challenging yourself enough. All right? Some of you need to pause the notes, try and do the problems before I explain them. What do I need to do? I need to solve for x. So I'm going to pick this bottom one myself. I picked there. Everything's positive here. So what I do is I just rewrite this off to the side because I know everything was positive here, and I just want to deal with the smallest numbers possible. So this would be 8 times 20 equals 244. This is 6x plus 160 equals 244. Subtract 160. Subtract 160. So I have 6x equals, that is not how I did that in my notes. So this is 84. No, 40, 84, yep. Divide by 6, divide by 6. And x is equal to 1, 14. All right. Somebody better check my math because I did something wrong here. Nope, I did it right on this sheet. I did it wrong in my note sheet. So this is actually right. Okay, x equals 14. So now you got to answer with a word or a sentence or two. So they're not worried about anything about Deshaun and Shayna. They're worried about what's the cost of each bag is. So my response would be the bag of windflower bulbs is $14 and the bag of daffodil bulbs is $20. Last one, stay with me, and this is the easier one. Except what color am I going to write with? Purple? Green? Okay. At the store, toothbrushes cost X dollars and bars of soap cost Y dollars. So you should already know what your X is and your Y's are. So one customer bought 2 toothbrushes, so 2X, and 1 bar of soap. Why is it all goofy? Another customer bought 6 toothbrushes and 5 bars of soap, and that equals 38. Both amounts do not include tax. How much did each toothbrush and bar of soap cost? So this is perfect. We're finding price again. Okay, for those of you who like arguing, there's multiple ways to do this problem, as they all can be done either way. Miss Johnson, I know, does this as a systems. All right, so she takes this top one, and she multiplies everything by -5. Okay, I don't like that way. My personal way to do this would be to subtract 2x here and subtract 2x over here. Because now I just have y equals 11 minus 2x. So in doing that, hope you can see that. 6x plus 5. All right, now what did I make y? 11 minus 2x equals 38. So 6x plus 55 minus 10x equals 38. I gotta subtract 55 here. Okay. I'm trying not to sneeze actually. Alright, 6x minus 10x is -4x is equal to 38 minus 55. That is going to be negative 17. Negative 4 divided by that, divided by negative 4. So x equals negative 17 divided by negative 4. So I actually know that's going to be a positive number. And I actually know that's going to be $4.25. Remember, that's what we were finding. We were finding x was the cost. So it was $4.25. So now I got my equation up here. Y equals 11 minus 2 times x. Well, I'm not going to write x. I'm going to write $4.25. So then y actually equals 11 minus 850. And 11 equals, if I can do math right, 250. There you go. And then I write this awesome sentence here. So, ba-ba, da-da-da-da-da. Toothbrushes are $4.25, and bars of soap are $2.50 at the store. Okay, thank you for your attention today. If you have any questions, please refer to another teacher, as I feel overworked. That was a joke. All right? These videos are becoming shorter and shorter, and that means that you need to ask more questions because I'm leaving out a lot of information. Have a great day. Good luck on the practice.